Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining D&H TV today. I'm excited to partner with Alex and Ergotron on this endeavor today. And Larry, great comment. We are looking forward to stretching your brains today. I am the dedicated sales specialist, senior sales specialist, and I sit at D&H, but I'm all things Ergotron all day, every day. So I'm here to help support. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Alex Niemer, who is my main point of contact from Ergotron. Take it away,
Well,
Alex.
thanks, Lori. Yes, I do. I talk to Lori all day, every day. We get a lot accomplished, and it's a blast to work with D&H. I'm happy to be working with D&H from the Ergotron side. So, like Lori said, my name is Alex Niemer. I've been with Ergotron over 6 years now, I believe, doing various things, but currently I'm the distribution account manager. So, working all things distribution and making sure it goes and flows very well. Today, what we're going to be talking about is a little bit of why Ergotron, why monitor arms more specifically through Ergotron, and even more specifically, why monitor arms at Ergotron through D&H. So we're going to go through a couple things. We do have a couple of interactive questions built into our presentation today. So to get things started off, there is a poll right there. How familiar are you with Ergotron solutions? This is just going to help me gauge to see where everybody's at with Ergotron solutions. If you used them before, familiar with them. So what we'll do is we'll give it just a little bit of time here. Go ahead and you can actually click on the screen and get those answers going. So I see people, once we get to about maybe 50%, we'll go through. So start clicking on your screens. Let me know where we're at. So got about 13 responses so far.
And also, I do want to add that throughout the webinar, you are free to ask questions in the chat. And we will
be the chat feature will be there the whole time. So
yep.
Lori will be moderating that and going from there. So all right, go ahead and click on the next slide. We'll just go from here just to kind of see where we're at. All right, so people are kind of familiar with them. Perfect. A lot of people are selling them often, and there's a couple of people here who have never heard of us, which is great as well. So that's great to know, just to get some gauging. So we'll dive into this here. I'll tell you a little bit about the agenda today. We're going to give you a little bit of Ergotron introduction, tell you a little bit about who we are, where we came from, why monitor arms, why are they important, monitor arms display mount offerings that Ergotron offers. We'll go through some of the target audiences that we're looking to hit, and then next steps for when you're working with Ergotron. So, all right, so Ergotron, where do we come from? We've been around for 40 plus years. We were a pioneer in the height adjustable ergonomic products. I'm at a sit-stand desk right now. When I present, I love to stand, so it makes it great for that. But the beauty of Ergotron is we are a movement company. We allow you not only to stand at your desk, but also sit at your desk. We want people to be moving, being more active while they're working. And that's one of the things that we allow. We're in various different healthcare, workspace, OEM, medical, advanced manufacturing, in all the places. We've been around for a while. We know what we're doing, and we've got a great reputation that comes around with us. Got 200 plus patents that have been issued and or pending at this time. So go ahead, go to the next slide. So what I want to talk to you about is not only Ergotron's history, but what makes Ergotron great. Why would you choose an Ergotron arm? One of the things that you'll notice in the marketplace, if you are familiar with Ergotron, is we're not the cheapest arm on the market. We don't want to be the cheapest arm on the market. We have quality products and we use quality materials. Quality products that aren't going to break down over time. So one of the things, the first thing we'll talk about is our ergonomic workflow expertise. So what does that mean? We have ergonomists on staff that have worked with these products to make sure that they flow well. We know what we're talking about when it comes to ergonomics, making sure that your monitor is at the correct height. Why would you want proper ergonomics in a workplace? It's a very simple answer. To reduce neck strain, to reduce strain on your body. One of the things that is a huge selling point when it comes to monitor arms is workers' comp claims. When people are working at an environment for a long time, you want to make sure that they have proper ergonomics so that they're not putting unnecessary strain on their bodies, right? Proper ergonomics with monitor arms is going to allow you to do that. Professional grade quality. What does that mean? So not only do we use really good products, we test them. So our products, we cycle test at least 10,000 times. So a monitor arm is going to go up and down at least 10,000 times to make sure that it can withstand the use over the lifetime of it. That means that a monitor arm that you buy today, we warranty it for 10 years. And I've seen places that have monitor arms that are 15, 20 years old. We've been around for a while. It's great quality product. Last but not least, our personalized service and support. If you call Ergotron, you're going to get somebody at Ergotron headquarters in Eagan, Minnesota, answering your questions for you. If you call D&H, probably get Lori, and she'll be able to help you answer those questions. But we do a very good job of that. And then we also offer a service option so that when you order something, we give you the option to have it installed by a professional that's familiar with Ergotron's products. Move on. So why would you want to partner with Ergotron? I've kind of talked a little bit about it already. We provide that expertise. One of the other great things that we do is we offer deal registration. So you as a reseller, if you come to us with an opportunity, we're going to allow you to register that deal and give you the proprietary pricing. Another thing that we do that's kind of unique and kind of unique to Ergotron, I know we do it a little bit elsewhere, but we offer seed units. What's a seed unit, you might ask? Seed unit is very simple. We don't just demo products, we actually give away products. We plant the seed is what we like to call it. So if you have a customer that has a need and you think the opportunity warrants it, give us a call. Contact Lori, contact myself. We have account managers that are working all within North America that we can work with, and we will send your customer a seed unit. We will send them, whether it's a monitor arm, whatever that need may be, we'll send it to them. That is theirs. We don't want it back. Why would we do this? Because we believe in our products. It's really hard to say how great my monitor arms that I'm selling are. Like, I can tell you about them, and I'm going to do that today. I'm going to tell you how great it is. But once you have one of our monitor arms in our hands, you're going to understand it at a higher level. It's really hard to explain the constant force technology that's in our arms. I can't until you feel it. All right. So the seed unit's a huge thing. Special pricing and rebate. So not only do we allow deal registration, but if you have a large enough opportunity, we'll work with you. We'll come with special pricing to make sure that we match that customer's need, working on that. And then last but not least, our customer care. Not only is the customer care great at Ergotron, it's also great at D&H. You're going to get just the compounding effect there, and we're going to take care of you, your client, and their needs, whatever those might be. So why do monitor arms matter? So I talked about this really briefly when it comes to workers' comp claim. Then I'll just read this stat right here. The National Safety Council reports that the average workers' compensation claim costs about $41,000. So if you can prevent that, because you got employees working at desks 8+ hours a day, and you can prevent some of those workers' comp claim, you're actually saving the company money. And that's a very real thing. I'm not trying to say that a monitor arms is going to solve all your issues, but if you do have proper ergonomics, it can help those situations. Those repeated stress injuries is one of those things that you can kind of worry about there. So they matter for ergonomics. They also help with space saving. So one of the big things, whether it's a work environment or when you talk about a gaming environment, is desk space. Monitor arms are huge for space saving. You put a monitor arm, especially with these big, huge monitors that are coming out today, the big curved 49-inch ones. You got a big, huge monitor, it's going to come with a big, huge stand, and that big, huge stand is going to take up a lot of valuable space on your desk. You put a monitor arm on it, especially when we're getting those bigger ones. Ergotron has come up with a specific monitor mount that's going to hold that. The space that it takes up on your desk is that much. It's just the base. And we can grommet mount that, we can clamp mount that, we have options, we can even wall mount it, and then it takes up no space on the desk. Space saving is huge when it comes to that. And then flexibility, last but not least, flexibility. It's huge, right? So I'm a big person, I'm 6'4". When we're talking about hoteling spaces or combined workspaces that we're moving to in this post-COVID era, if I go and work at a workstation, I'm 6'4". I'm going to adjust my monitor, I'm going to move it, and I'm going to get it all set for me. I'm going to work my day. Then Lori comes in the next day, and Lori, you're not 6'4", but then she, without having to change workstations, with just the touch of her hand, she can grab that monitor and she can move it. She can set the desk up how she wants. If we're talking about sit, stand, desk, same thing, right? You're not having to change around a whole station. So when you're talking about those hoteling or multi-use stations, it's huge in that area where the user can quickly interface with it and just grab it and move it. And that's the beauty of Ergotron products. I will talk just real briefly about this. I think we talked a little bit more in depth, but this is a good spot to talk about it. One of the key differentiators that Ergotron brings to the table is what we have is called constant force technology built into our monitor arms. All right. So constant force technology is it's one of our patented proprietary patents, if you will. But within that monitor arm, it's not a gas cylinder. All right. So a lot of times people are thinking, well, how do you do that? Well, we use a series of highly engineered pulleys and counterweights. Patented beyond that, right? It's over my head. But what that allows for us to do is it allows for you to grab your monitor and move it into place, let go of it, and it's going to stay there. I don't need to tighten it down to hold it in place. I don't need to adjust it any more than that. And the best thing is, because it's not a gas cylinder, it's not going to break down over time. I'm going to give you a very simple analogy. Everybody in this audience at some point in time has sat on an office chair. And everybody in this call has sat in an office chair that has slowly lowered while you sat in it in a meeting over time, right? Because that glass cylinder is either losing air or a seal's bad. There's none of that with our monitor arms. And that's why we can guarantee those for so long. And that's the constant force technology that's in it. So again, we cycle test it, we load test it. It's very, very good quality materials and a patented constant force technology that's in those arms. And I've had my monitor arms for now I think we're going on, because I had them before I started working at Ergotron. I want to say 7 or 8 years, and they're still holding strong. So, all right. So add margin and revenue by simply asking this very simple question. So back in the day, McDonald's, right? McDonald's came out with a marketing campaign. It was simply, would you like fries with that? And it helped their sales immensely. Say the same thing for you. Everybody on this call, every reseller on this call, I'm sure, is selling some sort of monitor, right? How do you add revenue? How do you add margin? Simply ask the question, how are you going to mount that? Very simple question. And it's a very simple question, and it's going to give you a series of answers, right? You know, you're going to either get, well, idea was I'm just going to put it on my desk. Two, you know, I was thinking about getting a monitor arm, or I have no idea what you're talking about. I just want to buy a monitor, right? All are good and valid answers, but the main thing to think about with that, but it opens up, they're open-ended questions that are going to open up dialogue to be like, well, have you considered a monitor mount? You know, that, and all the reasons I talked about, right? Saving space on your desk, the health and wellness of the employees. All of those, by simply asking this question, is opening up dialogue for you to talk about monitor arms to be able to add to your sale. Go ahead. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple discovery questions here. These are just questions that you can kind of ask once you kind of break that barrier and get in. So, you know, questions like how many monitors are at each workstation, and we can kind of break down. I don't need to go through all of this. One of the great things that we're going to do is we're going to provide this presentation for you after the fact. There's going to be some very good details in the next coming slides that are very wordy, and I'm not going to spend a bunch of time reading them to you because I don't want to bore you out of your minds. However, they will be available to you so that you can look at. I believe if we go to the next slide here, yes, we're going to talk about the different offerings that we have. So we offer arms for different uses, right? So we have our LX, which is our core offering. We offer that. That's 90% of monitors that are out there. And I'm generalizing and just making up a statistic, but a large sum are going to be going and fall under this LX. It has a range of weight that it's going to work with. And there's an adjustment bolt that once you put that monitor arm on there, you adjust it one time to figure out where it works within that range, and you're good to go. Our NX is our little bit more price effective use. It doesn't have that constant force technology in there. It's just a simple monitor arm if you just want to get something done. We've got our MXV, which is our more stylized. We have our Trace, which is a little bit different system, works with a different offering, and then our HX, which is our basically our heavy duty. So you can read through these when you get this presentation after the fact, and you can see the best use cases for these and when to sell what. But when in doubt, Alex is a pretty good option. So another question that we're going to ask here, feel free to answer as soon as you can here. So what's the primary reason for your customers looking for, your primary reason your customers look for monitor arms? Go ahead and click those buttons and give us some answers here. Give it a couple of seconds while those answers come in. We like to break it up a little bit, not just have to listen to me talk the whole time. You get to interact a little bit and go from it with there. There's a little bit of a delay, so I don't want to cut anybody's answers off as these start coming through. So give everybody a little breather here.
While they're answering, I just also, not to give Larry a shout out again, but when you were talking about the Seed unit, he put a comment about, telling your partner that you'll not only install it so that you know that they're actually going to use the product, but that also helps create stickiness and solidifies that partnership with them. And creates that engagement, which also, right, it's always going to create a higher rate of that PO coming back across the finish line. So I love that, Larry. I just wanted to give you a second shout out there, buddy.
Yeah, and actually, to Larry's point, when I was telling you earlier that we have account executives across the nation, a lot of times our account executives will actually go out to locations. So you will have an Ergotron employee help you do that install. All the time. That's why we have them there. They're located all throughout the U.S., up in Canada as well, and then obviously if you're in different countries and territories, we have different groups for that. But in North America, we will actually send our account executives out on site to help do that install of that Seed unit and be able to answer questions about it. So, all right, we got a bunch of questions answered, so let's move on. All right, improved workplace. Look at that. Awesome. That is super helpful, actually. I love seeing the use cases in all of these, but it seems to be the winner here is improved workspace ergonomics, which is a huge thing. So awesome. Thank you for that. All right. So new product alert, HX with VHD pivot. So what does that mean? So you can see that image right there. I believe that's the Samsung Odyssey G9. They seem to keep breaking boundaries with these monitors. Before you know it, we're just going to be enter a bubble surrounded by screens, and it's going to be fantastic. But one of the things with those big, huge monitors like that is they're heavy, they're big, right? And a lot of people don't realize this when it comes to mounting curved monitors. A curved monitor changes the center of gravity of a monitor. For a long time, it was just flat, right? Very easy. Where's the center of gravity? Right in the middle, right? Center of gravity, when you're looking at a curved monitor, is actually kind of in front of it, right? And so a lot of times what people don't factor in, they'll say, oh yes, our monitor arms, they hold up to 40 pounds or 50 pounds or whatever that is. But it'll hold it, but it'll tilt down because the tilt can't handle it because the center of gravity is different on it. So of course, Ergotron has tackled this problem, and we have come up with the HX with VHD pivot to make sure that when you are mounting when you're going to put your super expensive monitor and you're going to mount it with a monitor arm to save desk space on your desk, use our HX with VHD pivot. Not only are you going to save desk space, but you can guarantee that that monitor is going to be well secured and taken care of. One of the very scary things that happens with these is people spend all their money on the monitor and they're like, oh, I want to put a monitor arm on it. I'm just going to go buy this one. I've seen it. I've been on Reddit. I've seen the horror stories. They come home, their monitor has crashed onto their desktop. It is broken. If you're going to spend the money on a very large monitor, please use a proper monitor arm for it if you're going to put a monitor arm on it. I recommend it. It's great. You can move that monitor around and it works really great. So new product alert that you got right there. So next slide. All right. So our mount finder tool. So this is a very, very cool thing that we have. If you go to our website, you can search for our mount finder. So you see it right here. You can put the device model in there, or you can select the manufacturer and you can say, whatever the manufacturer is, and then it'll give you a list of the monitors that we have in there. We try to keep this as up to date as possible, but as you can imagine, companies are coming out with new monitors every day. So if you find something, you can just email somebody at Ergotron customer care or myself, and we'll try and get it added for you. What's great about this is not only does, when you bring that monitor up, it's going to tell you the weight of that monitor. It's going to tell you it with and without the pedestal stand. And it's also going to give you recommendations on what monitor arms are going to work for that monitor. It's going to give you the VESA mounting pattern, whether it can be mounted or not. Some monitors just don't have a VESA pattern on there. If that's the case, we can't mount it. I know there's some third parties, companies that do stuff where it creates a VESA pattern for it, but we haven't tested those, so we can't claim that it's going to work with that. If it has a VESA pattern on it, there's a pretty good chance that Ergotron is going to be able to mount it for you. So very cool tool. Even if you're just looking to get some specs on that monitor, you can just pull it up, go to our website, sure, pull up that, and it's like, oh, weighs 23 pounds, perfect. Okay, I talked about this earlier, but why do we see our products? 70% higher rate of converting into a sale. Hands-on experience with our solutions, demonstrating that professional grade, differentiating Ergotron from the competition, and conversation starter for our partners. Very simply, we give you a product that's their product. If they hate it, they can throw it away, or they can secretly enjoy it and never talk to us again. Whatever they want to do with it. But seed units are a huge deal there. And going back to Larry, if you go on site to install it with them, it's a great way to have conversations with them, and kind of scope out the place to be able to say, hey, we also offer sit-stand desks and all these other things that we might be able to do. Everybody on this call is probably fairly familiar with deal registration, but we offer it, right? It gives you that pricing advantage. We do a 5% discount off of SSP. It allows you to sell a premium product at a lower price, and it stays registered for 120 days. That means you guys have that benefit right there. Right now, the minimums for a deal registration are 50 units or 10K worth of product. So one of the things that you got to think about with deal registration, and we do this all the time, is you might have like one sale right now, but you got to think about the lifetime of that. So if you're doing an opportunity and it's going to be, let's just say it's, 10 units every month for the year, that would meet our minimum because we look at the big picture, not just the one-time sales. So if you've got a customer that, you think they're going to buy 50 units over the year, have a conversation with us. Go to the partner portal and work with it there. So, all right, go on to the next page. All right. Remember, wordiness and everything that I talked about earlier. We're going to go over some target audience and audiences. I'm not going to talk a lot. I don't want you to hear me talk about these. You guys can, the ones that you want to specialize in, you'll have this deck afterwards. You can look at it. But I wanted to provide these resources for you so that you can kind of look at it. We're going to show you about individual focused office environments, collaborative focused office environments, the retail, and the manufacturing environments. So go ahead and if you want to kind of click through these individual focused office environments, very popular pre-COVID, still a thing. But you can look at, here's just some selling tips, right? The LX is going to be a great option for this environment. The MXV is also going to be a great opportunity or option for these environments. But they were, again, tools for you after the fact. Go ahead, slide through. Collaboration focus. I talked about, me working at a station, then Lori coming up and working at a station. Same station, user can interface with it and make those changes for them. Going. We'll talk about the retail So one of the things that we have the opportunity to do is sell into retail. We have products that allow for that retail, whether it's a dual screen where the customer needs to face it and the employee needs to face with it. We can do that. We have NeoFlex stands as well that if you just need to place a monitor that's low ergonomic, however we want to do it, we sell into retail So NX Beyond Basic is the title that the one that we're focusing for that. Manufacturing. So one of the key things that we found in the last couple of years here is a lot of people were using our healthcare products in a manufacturing environment. And so we said, hey, why don't we just actually focus on manufacturing a little bit? And we created and tweaked our products just a little bit. One of the things that we found with this is that because we're so focused on healthcare and cleanliness and making sure that everything worked for long periods of time, that also very well applied into advanced manufacturing. So our Alex solutions, you can kind of see it right here. One of the main things that we work with in this area is workflow. And so we'll take a look at it, and you might look at a situation and be like, you got a guy that goes here, then he walks 50 feet to a printer, picks up his paper, comes back, goes 20 feet over here, gives it to this guy, and then does this. That's all time, right? So we've done situations in site visits where we're like, hey, listen, if you actually mount your monitor here, it's going to free up space for a printer to go right here. And then if you have that on an arm that swings over this way, rather than having to walk 20 feet over this way to the guy, just swing the monitor over so you're saving 10 minutes. You can be more productive. So just, things like that, simple things that you might not think are time killers in a production environment like that can save huge amounts of time just by looking at the workflow of things and just rearranging things. So just simple things like that in the manufacturing area that we're good for. So I'm going to go to the next slide. So next steps, what are you going to do? You want to sell some Ergotron. How are you going to do that? Remember, would you like fries with that? Number one. How are you going to mount that? Number one question that you can ask anytime you sell a monitor. Simple question to ask. I mean, they may just say, I'm not going to mount it. Okay, fine. That's great. Awesome. Next thing. But it might open up a conversation for you to be able to introduce them to the world of monitor arms. ID that solution using those discovery questions that we talked about. Verify compatibility with our Mount Finder tool. Go check it out and say, hey, yeah, LX is a perfect opportunity for you. Would you like a seed unit of that? Register that deal on our partner portal. Those are very simple steps. Sell some Ergotron. All right, so I've got a surprise guest here. I've got Kelsey McPherson, who's going to jump on and talk about our partner portal here. She is our channel marketing manager. She's fantastic. She makes my life function very well. But I'm going to have her jump here and talk about all the tools that are readily at your fingertips. So Kelsey, are you here?
Thank you for the introduction. Hello, everybody. I'm Kelsey. As Alex mentioned, I work within the channel marketing team at Ergotron, and I just wanted to go over some of the resources that we mentioned previously. I did want to mention again that they will be sent out after this. So there will be a link to the partner portal, the ARM comparison chart, the Mount Finder tool, and also D&H has a Pro AV webpage where we and some other vendors are highlighted there. So that will be sent after the webinar. As far as the partner portal goes, I know we've touched on quite a few times seed units and deal registration. And to be able to start that conversation, I would recommend logging into our partner portal and taking advantage of the resources that we have there on those topics. We also have an ergonomic payback calculator, which is a great conversation starter when talking to clients. We do have case studies. Again, it's something that you can just send over in an email and say, hey, have you seen this? Ergotron products might be a great solution for you. We have training modules, promotional information, competitive information, and we also do have a partner employee purchase program. So if you are looking for any ergonomic solutions, I would highly recommend logging into the partner portal and grabbing those resources so that maybe you can outfit your own office with our solutions. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kelsey. All right, we're going to finish off here. We got a couple of polling questions, and then Lori is going to moderate some questions. We'll open it up for some questions. So go ahead, get those keyboards going again. So what type of sale tools would be most helpful to better sell Ergotron products? Go ahead and click away. We'll kind of breeze through these questions, but this information is just helpful for us to be able to kind of gauge what where things are helpful. Give it another second here. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we'll move on. Perfect. Oh, good. It looks like a good even mix on there. All right, go ahead. I think we have one more question before we open the floors. All right. How likely are you to recommend Ergotron monitor arms to your customer based on the information provided in this webinar? Hopefully I was informative for you. And then I believe this is the last question, so we'll give it a second here. Lori, and then after you've answered this question, we're going to open up the floor for some Q&A here. So in your chat box, I believe there's an option for you to type in a question in there. So we'll see those questions come in, and then Lori can kind of moderate through those and ask those questions so we can kind of get things going. And then we'll let you guys go, and appreciate your time on the webinar today. So we'll move forward with this. I think we've got the majority of answers in. Oh, good. Zero neutrals. Yeah, very good. All right, perfect.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So yes, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to use the chat box. And again, I'm also here to support at any time if you guys want to jump on a brief Teams call. When we do correspond with each other, I have a booking link, so we can book a call with me at any time that allows you to look and see my calendar and what's available. 5-10 minute call, just to jump on and kind of do a tutorial on how to walk through their site, just the simple services that they provide there. Their site is very intuitive, very easy to use, and is just chock full of information. If you need sell sheets, cut sheets, install information, once you find that particular product, you can scroll down and see everything that you need there. So let's see here. I think there's some questions here in the box. Okay, so Joseph, you are asking, is there anyone who specialized in healthcare? That's a great question.
Yeah, actually, healthcare is probably our largest segment that we focus on. So today I kind of just talked about the monitor arms from like the workspace perspective, but healthcare is a huge opportunity for us. And we actually have account executives, again, all through the nation that specialize on that. So depending on where you're looking to do that, please reach out to myself or Lori, and we can get you in touch with one of our major account executives to talk about healthcare solutions that we have available for you. So it's not just monitor arms. We have those workstations on wheels. We have combo arms, whatever you need in those hospital environments. So yes, to answer your question, lots of people specialize in healthcare.
Yes. Yep. And the cool thing is I do have a healthcare background. So I worked for a tiny company called Cardinal Health at one time. And so this is why I find Ergotron so attractive for me as a vendor. I love working with them and supporting these product lines because it speaks to me, and it's always good to be able to associate with something that you're passionate about. So we do have another question. For the seed install, you mentioned having a Ergotron. Oh, hold on a second. It went down there. You mentioned having an Ergotron rep to help. Would that be the Ergotron install company Snap or an Ergotron local rep?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Typically, it would not be our install team. It would just be the local rep that we would have come out to there, if it makes sense. I can't say that I'm going to guarantee that. You know, I think my healthcare team would be pretty mad if I said I guarantee they're going to come out. But if you have an opportunity, and it makes sense, you reach out to our local rep, our local sales rep, and they'd happily come out and do that for you. So yes. It would not be our install team. Our install team, our Ergotron as a service, if you will, that would be for when we have a deployment. I mean, they will do just one unit if you want as well, but typically they're installing to 10 plus units, that sort of thing.
Yeah. All right, so we have another question from Kevin, and I say this is, I'd say, an aesthetic question, right? It says, I noticed where the monitor attaches to the mount sometimes doesn't often look, quote unquote, so pretty with bolts showing, etc. Any plans to improve this?
Great question, Kevin. I know that they've done a couple of things with, like the MXV and our Trace to kind of go do that. I don't know that they have any plans necessary for like our core line, like our LX or anything like that. Um, Great feedback. I can take that to our industrial design team and talk about that. Maybe offer some sort of cover or something for it. But at the moment, I don't believe with our core line products that they have any plans to do that. But appreciate the question.
Excellent. We have a comment, not really a question. He says, great to hear about healthcare. This is from Joseph. I served on the HL committee for a decade. I signed up for Ergotron partnership. Yay.
Awesome.
We love
Perfect.
to hear that. That's awesome. All righty. Anybody else have any other questions? Oh, I see one that popped up. It says, why should I purchase Ergotron product through D&H?
That is a fantastic question. And
Jokingly, I would like to
let
say it's because of me, but aside from that,
you know what? I will let you answer that one, Lori. I
thank you.
think that you should.
So one of the things that I love about working at D&H is our core DNA is customer partnership. And I'm good old-fashioned customer service. Again, in my signature line, I have a book, book a call with me. And below that, I actually provide my cell number. Yes, my actual cell number. So and I jokingly say, I'll take a conference call in a parking lot of the grocery store if I have to after hours, because I'm that passionate about helping our customer, because we know that needs come in to you guys at all different times. And of course, we sell across the US. So we have different time zones that we're working with. And so I'm always more than happy to help you guys. I've been on the line. It'll be my anniversary is coming up November 11th. I'll be on the line for 3 years. And so I'd like to think I'm not 100% a subject matter expert of all things Ergotron. But if I don't know the answer, I will certainly know who to get you in touch with. So I'm very resourceful as well.
We had a couple questions come in as well.
Yep, I see. Let's see here. Okay. Are Ergotron products TA compliant? That is an excellent question. I'll let you answer that one, Alex.
Yeah, so we do have a specific list of list of products that are TAA compliant. You can go to our website and you can find that list. One of the things that Ergotron is doing and actively doing is we're looking to add more and more products to that list. We have moved some of the manufacturing. One of the things that we took advantage of post-COVID is a lot of people went from work from home and are hybrid working. And so we don't have as many desk space at the Ergotron headquarters. And so we've converted a lot. We already had a warehouse there, but we've converted and taken over a lot of that unused space into manufacturing that we do locally at Ergotron. So we do have a list, and that list is growing. So if you just head to our website, you can find all the products that are TAA compliant.
I also can provide a reseller's guide. So if you guys email me directly, and again, my information's here, I can shoot that over to you. And that's just a really nice basic guide that has all the different links, the partner portal, the TA compliant, and the portal to get authorized. Okay. Okay, we have another one. How do we retrieve authorization letters as resellers?
Yeah. So once you go to that partner site, you should get an email that says, gives you your authorization. If you have done that, if you have done that in the past and you're just looking for it, you can probably reach out to Laura. You can reach out to myself, and we can dig that out for you. See what your status is in our system. If it's expired or anything like that, it's a pretty simple process to go. But yeah, just reach out to one of us. We'd be happy to help you with it.
Excellent. We have just a few more questions that have popped up. One question is, how far in advance does D&H require notice before a large purchase to ensure there is stock available? So first and foremost, I understand that sometimes the partners you work with don't give you as much advance notice, but it is advantageous to really consult with them and figure out when is the product needed. Absolutely. From there, you can reach out to me give me the quantity, the SKU, and when the land date is needed. And then that way I can get to work on my end, start coordinating with my buyer as well as the Ergotron side to see what kind of lead time they have on their end, particularly again for larger purchases. Ergotron can be a very consultative process and product line. So again, the key here is communication and just a direct line to me so that we can work through those parameters that's ideal. So the sooner the better, I guess, is the best answer to that.
Yeah.
If you have 2 or 3 weeks at minimum, I would say. But again, sometimes we do get those surprise POs that come across. So we'll still work with you on those as well.
Awesome.
All right, and I think somebody did ask if you need to be authorized, and we've already answered that, and that's a very simple process. Click on a link. That authorization notification does come to me fairly quickly, and I actually have the ability to go into if you have a current account at D&H, go in and unlock your account so that you can purchase Ergotron right away.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, I think that is all. And if you do have questions after the fact, again, you've got Lori's contact information, you've got my contact information. Please reach out to us. We're here to help you answer any of those questions that you have for us. But I super appreciate you taking the time to listen to me talk to you for about a half an hour here. So really appreciate it. Hope you found it useful.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.